What is up, people? It is your boy once again, the OG Soda Pop Kid, coming to you direct. Again, to give you an update on the Stetsom, Bravo, Bass Flex AKs, and the performance that they did on the 15th of September, which was our PA State Finals for Mecca. Alright, I'm going to give you an update. I should have been did this, but few events happened because of all the demoing I was doing that day. And I was caught out here fixing some things. Okay, so to start everything out, alright, we had our PA State Finals, and I was doing a whole lot of demoing. Okay, I was doing demo after demo after demo. Everybody was curious of how these and those American-based X-Max monsters was sounding up in there. And I will tell you, the demoing is very intense. The demoing is intense, okay, and all of that. And it actually vibrated some things, man. It vibrated at, actually my fog lights wasn't working when I got back, man, and I had to do some rewiring. It shook the hell out of them. My fog lights right down here on the bumpers, these iron bumpers I had made. All right, it shook them, and I have toggle switches, so you know what I mean. The toggle switches for my fog lights and my marker lights are all connected. So I had to run a whole new wire from front to back. I had a field day doing that. I had to change some wiring that was old, and it shifted the hell out of my hood here. You know, it literally shifted it. That demo literally shifted this heavy ass hood. And it wouldn't even shut when it was time to leave. And a couple of bass heads had to actually help me reline it, like line it back up to land onto those hood pins. You know, it wouldn't even line up with the hood pins. You know what I mean? And those corny ass shocks that I had on there, them hood shocks wasn't doing nothing anyway. This bar has been holding this hood up since the modifications on this hood has been done. So those hood shocks, I took them off, man. I had to let them off anyway. These corny ass things right here wasn't holding up or even helping it to be held up in the first damn place. Well, it shifted the whole hood. And I ended up taking those hood shocks off, and I had to loosen up the bolts, and they helped me like realign it temporarily, okay, in order to get home. All right, so that's what happened with that. All right, and as you see, I had to do some rewiring. I had to run some wire all the way to the back, from front to back, and change some things, man. And now that's all working. It took me a couple days to do that because I had a lot of other stuff going on as well, as far as the dancing. You know what I mean? Because we're doing an exhibition tomorrow evening downtown at the backyard. Me and another OG, my boy Beware from back in the day, from Chicago, that moved here, and two the younger generational poppers, my man Crusade Casado from the Bronx originally, that moved out here some years ago, and a kid that's going to CMU from Taiwan. His name is Liver. First time meeting him. He's pretty nice too. We got some kids ended up going to CMU. We got some dancers that's ending up in CMU over the years. He's pretty nice with it. Okay, so that's what's going on with that. And then I had that to do, picking up my girl up from work, and all this extra stuff that I'm doing now. Okay, so, and I had to deal with this, those lights, man. It took me some hours, man. You know what I mean? To be dealing with them. For the sake of everything I'm doing, trying to keep this old girl running here. But anyway, other than that, as far as these amplifiers, I'm going to get to the point of that. These Stetsoms, Bravo, Bass, Flex AKs, are by far the loudest amplifiers that I've ever used. Okay, now, it's technically between the MD 15K, the MD AK, the Bass AK, the Slapz. I'm gonna throw them in there because they them little things do some work. And these, for the loudest amplifiers, that I've used. I just named about 5 amplifiers that were always the loudest. Now, I've used, let me get this sheet out. I wrote everything down on here. I've used the American-based VFL 12Ks. I've had 4 of those. I've had the VFL 8Ks. I had 4 of them. I had 1100.1s. I had 2 of them. And then after that, I had a bunch of the mini amplifiers from Audio Pipe and Shark 2500s. And those little minis did do good jobs. It's like 2 of those strapped together. 2 of those minis strapped together. I got 4,000 watts strapped out of the Sharks. Okay, strapped at 1 ohm. Okay, and the Sharks are the most I've ever got out of mini amplifiers. And I've had the VFL hybrid mini 4800s as well. And I got 3,500 out of them strapped. 2 of them strapped at 1 ohm and the Audio Pipe. But the most I've ever got out of the minis was the Sharks. Period. I got 4,000 watts strapped out of, I was running 8 of those and was getting 16,000 watts with lead acid batteries and all of that and only 2 alternators. Man, I told y'all this. You know what I mean? Which was a damn shame over all those big name brand amplifiers and all of that, because people make a big deal out of these amplifiers, whether they was made in Korea or Brazil or China or wherever they was made. And I'm almost like, what difference does it actually make? Especially when it comes to power and what the amplifiers are actually doing in real time. Okay? So, I got out of these. Now, one person was kind of making a big deal that I did a 160.94 out of the Slapz on that one competition out there in Ohio. Okay, and I did a 160.90 with these, and I'll explain why that happened. Because I did 2 burps out of these, okay? And if I would have had my door open when I got the first burp with these, it would have probably been louder than that. It might have surpassed the 160.94. Okay, but I did 2 burps. Okay, I did 2 burps. The first burp was with the door shut and the windows out. Okay, so that's when it did 8,800 watts per amp. It was clamped at 8,800 watts. Okay, and it only did at 160.77. Then I opened up the door. Okay, and it did 7,300 something watts after that hard burp. Okay, I opened up the door, then got a 160.90 on the second burp after I already did the first hard burp. So if I would have did the first hard burp with these, the scores would have been different. But I got 8,800 watts out of these on the first burp. Okay, that was the loudest I got out of any amp. Okay, now the MD8Ks, I was doing 8,042 watts every time I competed with them, with the door shut and windows down. You know, the base 8K, the most watts I got out of the base 8K, and I did not have no C-Max in my car. I had AGM batteries. I did 6,817 watts out of that one. The base 15K, I got 8,147 watts out of the base 8Ks. And that was just 4 of them. And as far as the base 15Ks, that was just 4 of them. And I only had 4 of the base 8Ks at the time because I only had 4 subs at the time. I had the 418s. With the base 15Ks, I was running 8 HD 12s. And I had 2 HDs per base 15K at half ohm. Okay, so all of these amps are technically at 0.6 of an ohm, 0.7, 0.6. Okay, the Slapz. Okay, I've seen 7,672 watts out of the Slapz. The ones that I'm selling for $300 and only use them twice. And 3 of them are brand spanking new and unused. Okay, now I got them up for sale for $300 and wondering why people ain't biting on them, especially cast like the Street Beat. And I did have them at 0.6 of an ohm as well. And the box rise was 0.9 on them. I did not get to see what the box rise was on the Stetsoms because too much was going on. I almost forgot to clamp them. And so I forgot, actually, to ask what the box rise was because everybody wanted to know what the box rise was up on these. Okay, if you're all paying attention. But this is something critical I want to ask. So, just this past Sunday, I was told, okay, I need y'all feedback on that when these are clamped in Mecca, or clamped at a contest, that you got to subtract the cone area of your subs from whatever that clamp score was. I just got told this. So my cone area at 812s is 1414. So I was told that you got to subtract 1414 from the 8,800 watts that I got out of these. That's what I was told. So in that case, what they're saying is technically these amps is 7,386 watts. Technically. It's clamped. Is what I was told. Now I need to know if that's true or not. Because what I did is I went back in my notes and everything that I got out of every amp, like the MD8K, the bass 8K, the bass 15K, you know, what I got out of all of them, I went back and I subtract 1414 from those. And you know, and what scores. So technically, the MD8K, the 8,042 watts, would have only really been 6,628 watts. The bass 8K, the 6,817 watts would have only been 5,403 watts. The bass 15K, the 8,147 watts would have only really been 6,733 watts. The Slapz, the 7,672 watts would have only really been 6,258 watts. Is what they're saying. So y'all get that? I need feedback on that. Okay? But, you know, technically, I got 8,800 watts out of the Stetsom, which is the loudest out of all of those amplifiers. And all the amplifiers I named, those has been the loudest amplifiers I've ever used. So, the MD8K, no, actually the bass 8K comes in second place. But the MD8K out of all of those tar amps, or tar amps, somebody came up on my YouTube channel just to tell me it's pronounced tar amps, not Tara amps. Tar amps, what difference does it make? You know what I'm talking about. I got ready to say, I don't know who that is, if that was actually a Facebook friend on YouTube that I'm not recognizing that it said that. Before I almost started to get smart with this guy. You know what I mean? Be like, man, I pronounce it the way I want. I got ready to say, I pronounce it the way I want. Okay, man, why make a big deal of that instead of commenting on the video itself? That's what I'm talking about, bro. It seems like when it comes to me, everybody want me to do what they want me to do. And I'm a 60-year-old grown man, man. I'm getting sick and tired of it, man. And I'm going to start coming at cats real ass stink. Y'all haven't seen that side, dude, and y'all ain't gonna like me after that, and I'm not gonna care, bro. But anyway, out of all the tar amps, since that's what you want to hear, okay, the MD8K technically does its power. The bass 15K, I got 47. The bass 8K watt per dollar, the MD8K is to me was one of the best Tara amps out there. Now I haven't heard the big boss, I haven't heard the smarts. You know what I mean? I have people that have the smarts tell me that the smart 8Ks, that they wasn't doing any better than the MDs. I don't know if it's their electrical or what, I don't know, but this is what I'm being told. Okay, but the MD8K actually comes in first place, technically doing its rated power. But then I put the bass 15K in second. And then in third would be the Slapz over the bass 8K. The Slapz game, but then the bass 8K didn't get no lithium either. You know what I mean? But yet and still, out of the Slapz, I got 7,672 watts. Okay, so these are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my loudest amplifiers I've ever used. These Stetsoms gave me the most, man. And a lot of people was really impressed that these things did not get hot. It was hot out there on Sunday, I was demoing. My alternators and stuff got real super hot. They got super hot under the engine. These old school engines do get hot. These cast iron engines, they get super hot. I had the hood up and the trunk up. And I was demoing after demo after demo. And my voltage, actually, after all the competing and all that, my voltage ended up at 14.9 from demoing back to back. And I'm used to my voltage being up at 15.7. And people still wanted demos. I had to turn 2 guys down because I'm just not used to my voltage being like that. I know it wasn't going to hurt nothing because these C-Maxes are monsters. But I had to turn 2 demos down, which I do owe my man Jeff and Andy McGill a demo the next time I see them. They'll be the first 2 on the list. And by then I should have new subs in here anyway. But he still wanted to hear what them X-Maxes was doing. And I'm going to tell you, as far as demos and street beating, them X-Maxes are monsters, like they're called. Because I've got, that, even me sitting in there, I'm going to say them things get down when you're demoing. There's something else demoing and street beating. They are. They make a statement. The videos are showing it. You know what I mean? But I'm still going to say the HDs, for what the HDs are, with some darn good subs. For what they are. You know what I mean? Because I've gotten, my scores was 62s with those HDs as far as SPL. I was told by Bob and a couple other guys that those X-Max monsters are technically really street beater subs, and they're pretty right. Like they will rip your head off. That they will do at certain volumes. And I only got them up to volume 26, and when I got them to 26, everybody knew that. They were like, man, that volume, there was a couple guys even sitting in the video getting out the car, that volume 26, bro. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't take them no further than that. That's all. I could have hit 27. Possibly 28, because I hit 27s in parking pound. I hit that number when I'm parking pounded. You know what I mean? But they're not an SPL sub, and like I told you, those aren't the subs I went after. I did not, when I went down there, it was the Godzillas in mind. And those things are 4,700 watts RMS and 12,000 max on bursts. And those are the ones that I really wanted, and they didn't have the D1s. And everybody's like, get the D2s, but I'm used to running at half ohm because I usually get more power out of amplifiers at half ohm. I could have just got the D2s if I would have had them Stetsoms. I might have just got the D2s because these amps these are their smart amps, and they're made to do the same wattage at each ohm. You know what I mean? So I could have went on and got the 2, but I got something else in mind right now because I am going to make a switch. And like I said, I only use these Slapz, or those Slapz, like twice in the contest. And I never even got to drive up and down the street beating. I only street beated them at the contest. The one videos that I'm showing. And these as well. I got them at the same time. So I only had them, and only used them a couple of times. Except for, I did use those X-Maxes in the last, I was street beating the hell out of them. You know what I mean? I'm getting rid of them. I am, because I'm moving to another sub. I got a sub in mind that I want to move to. Okay? That I've been talking about. All right, with some people and all of that. So with that being said, those X-Max monsters are up for sale too. And I always sell my stuff at least $100 or more less than what I paid for them. You know what I mean? I know there's cheap guys out there. I've dealt with cheap dudes, man, that, loves to lowball people. And a lot of people, what they do is they play this little game with me is what they do. They know that, when push comes to shove, if I sit on something long enough, then I'll bring the price down even more because cats are cheap and they get on my damn nerves. They're really that damn cheap. Those, Slapz. I knocked a whole $90 and only used them a couple of times and knocked a whole $90 off per amplifier. Times 10. I got 10 of them. So that's damn near $1,000 that I'm pissing away. Okay? And I'm selling for $300 picked up or $325 shipped no matter where they're going. And cats are sitting back and they're playing that game. Let's sit back and see if he come down lower. And when that happens, if that was to happen, somebody that says, I want 1 amp, I wouldn't sell it to you. I would sell them to cats that's buying 2 or more then. I wouldn't sell you 1 amp. You know, cats that do that and they hit me like 1 amp, I'll just totally ignore them cats, man. Ignore them. Play them. And they're constantly messing me like, hey, man. And then finally be like, yo, man, for that price, man, you got to buy 2 or more. All right, see you. Since you want to play games, since you want to be cheap, you won't be getting one. Go buy full price. Offline. They should be, to me, sending me, they was $3.90 shipped. Okay, go do that, man. You know what I mean? Since you want to be cheap. But nevertheless, and those X Maxes, probably going to let them go for $300 as well, picked up. If I have to ship them, you will pay shipping on them heavy-ass things, dude. If I have to ship those subs. I'll ship them if I have to, but you will pay for them. And they cost, in shipping, about, depending on where they're going, is technically however much they weigh is how much they cost to ship. I've learned that. You know what I mean? Plus the weight of the box and all of that, man. I've shipped UPS and everything, man. I know how that works. I know how that works. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, that's what's happening with that. So, anyone's interested, and I'm going to post them up too. Anyone's interested, you can always inbox me. You know what I mean? And let me know. Because during the off season is when they'll just be up, they're going up. Or if somebody wants them, and I'll start taking them out. But I'm not getting rid of these Stetsoms. This is going to be my amp for a minute until otherwise specified. You know what I mean? So, that's that. All right, that's that on that note. But like I said, these are the loudest amps I got, watts. Regardless of subtracting the 1414, they're still the loudest amps that I've got. And I'm running them at half ohm, technically 0.6 of an ohm. I'm running them at that. Those subs are D1s. All right, they're D1 subs. Okay, so that's that, man. But I am going to switch subs, and this is something I wasn't trying to get into, and I came back into this. I was not trying to be buying, subs and switching subs. I thought I was one and done. So if I would have got the Godzillas, I would have been one and done. I might have switched amps, maybe. Maybe. It would have depended on how those Slapz would have hit those Godzillas. You know what I mean? It would have been one and done. And another thing, before I get off here. I'm known for buying budget equipment. And a lot of people know I'm known for buying budget equipment. Okay, and testing it. And seeing what it's capable of or seeing what I can get out of budget equipment. Like them Slapz. I was so curious about them and wanted to see if I could get 8K or if they would really do that at a half ohm is why I got them, other than them being tested on YouTube. Okay, because the one Jones Subwoofer Solutions Fire Kicker dude, he only ran them at 1 ohm and did. He wouldn't go below that because he said they wasn't rated to do that. And he got like 6K, like over 6K. Or something like that. I think he got dynamic burst. He didn't get that like regularly. So I was like, let me see if I can actually if I was to put them to my C-Maxes and my alternators and all that, what I would do with them. And I was curious, so I got them and, and technically did 7,672 watts before subtracting the 1414. Nevertheless, you know what I mean? And I almost got that 8,000. I got close. So them amps did pretty good. They did pretty good. But I got talked into these. And actually, I was a guinea pig for these. For a bass head friend of mine. He was actually guinea pigging me. You know what I mean? He wanted to see what I was going to do with them first. To decide if he wanted to get him. Now he wants to get him. And I've been seeing since I got them, quite a few people really interested in them and what they're going to do and how they did at this competition is what everybody wanted to know, and then they wanted to hear them. You know what I mean? They wanted to see what they wanted to hear, the sound difference. My boy Dre definitely heard the sound difference because he got a demo with the Slapz and he got a demo with these too. And he definitely heard the difference between them, even though they both was loud. Okay, so it was like putting the Slapz up against these. And I'll say the Slapz did its thing for being an unknown amplifier and being a new company. It did its thing, so I'm promoting it anyway. But people know that I usually use budget stuff, and they watch me use budget equipment and get in the lanes and win with budget equipment. They watch this for years and years and years and years. So I'm saying this to all you young bucks up there. They watch me get out there and do work. They watch me do this. You know what I mean? They watch me. And if some people didn't succeed doing that, or some people wasn't competing doing that, I got out there in the lanes with the best of them, with budget equipment, the best of them. I went against Steve Mick, the best of them, using budget equipment. 6 Mofo 12s, 4 Mofo 12s, 4 Mofo 15s, 8 Mofo 12s, SPL amplifiers, Sharks, audio pipe 18s. You know what I mean? I've used Lanzar, and all of that in the lanes competing, and a lot of guys will tell y'all that. When a lot of you dudes wasn't even in the car audio, bro. That's what the point I'm trying to make. Y'all wasn't even into it. You know what I mean? And I got certain cats coming in here thinking they got all this knowledge, and for some reason, I can't put it past me why, when it comes to everything that I do, cutting hair and all that, somebody always wants to challenge me like, where's that technically going to get you even if you were better or you were louder? Like, what is that meaning? Like, am I going to stop competing, or is it going to make me quit? Or is it, you know what I mean, going to make me feel bad and all of that? No, it's not going to do any of that. So I'm like, what's the big deal? Why people keep coming after me all the damn time? What is the problem? Is what I want to know. This is what I'm asking. Soda's the one that beat. Pop locking too. Soda's the one to beat. Well, so what, man? Like, put work in. Put your work in and go out there and do, like I said, travel and all that. Go travel and spend your money on buses and driving to Timbuktu and gas and all that. Do that and then compete. Do that. Get in the lanes with the best of them and see what you do. See how much you win. See how many awards that you can win. I do got guys that's out there winning awards, man. I had to win my man Hogan. That's my man. Now, he beat me in states. I did win states in dueling demos. I did win. I took second, but the person that beat me was from Cleveland. From another state. You can't be state champion in another state in Mecca. I can go to Ohio and compete and take first, but I can't be Ohio state champion whether I win or not. Okay, so I'm still Pennsylvania state champion. I just got beat in dueling demos by a smidget at that. If I would have started pop locking, I might have got more points for that. I'm surprised. I should have did that. Okay, but he got me, and he was from Cleveland. And I had got him prior in Ohio, but he came back and got me back. Okay, that's cool. You win some, you lose some. But nevertheless, I'm still state champion now. And SPL and Park and Pound, no, my man Hogan, he beat me. Fair and square. And that's how it is. LeBron don't win them all. Steph Curry don't win them all. Dr. J didn't win them all. Neither did Jordan. They didn't win them all, bro. As great as they was. Wilt Chamberlain, none of them won it all. You know what I mean, man? I got 751 trophies to date now. You know, and this cast has been trying to catch up with me. And Hogan went out there. He told me, I got 200 and something now. Okay, bro. Good job. You know, if you're trying to chase me, I can make that harder by just entering competitions and keep winning trophies. Not saying that he's trying to catch me. But guys are trying to tally up their stuff like I do. Because you want to, it's an accomplishment. That's all. It's an accomplishment. That's all. You know what I mean? So, and I know the only person in Pennsylvania that might have more trophies than me is John Harabic, the one with the big ass dolly, big black dolly. Because back in the 90s, he was that dude back in the 90s when all his stuff was operating correctly. He was the dude back then. He was doing 56s when 56 was something crazy. That number was something crazy back in like 94, 92. When his stuff was working, he's been competing ever since then. I didn't start competing till 2003. And granted, he didn't build that build either. So it's bought, not built. He didn't build any of that or put in none of that. So Audio Communications built that. A guy by the name of George Fidel built that. It took him 3 years to build that build, and they fired George after that build because it took so long for him to build it. Okay? I know the history behind that truck. Don't get it twisted. They fired George after that. He went to Speed of Sound, and George was a genius. He was a genius of audio communications. That dude was a beast. And Paul was good as well. I mentioned him before. Okay, but I'm about to get up off here. I want to give you an update on that Stetsom amp. That Stetsom is a beast. It's a beast. Stetsom wanted to know it. They wanted reviews on it. I know I'm not the only one using it statewide, but regionally I am the only one using those. Regionally. Okay? And so, that's on that note, people. It's your boy, the OG Soda Pop Kid. Give me the feedback on subtracting the cone area from the actual scores of the burps or the clamp test and all of that. Like I said, I don't know what the box rise was with these, but I know it was 0.9 with the Slapz, and with the bass 8K and the bass 15K and the MDs, it was always 1.2 to 1.4 ohm box rise with those. Just so y'all know. Okay. So, I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm looking to get some stronger subs and get rid of what I said I was getting rid of. Go ahead and make your comments on the post when I post it up today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Peace out, y'all.